Welcome, everybody, to the holiday edition of the GoNoGo show. Happy Hanukkah, Christmas.
Christmas Kwanzaa. Happy Christmas Kwanzaa, so we don't get sued by anybody.
What he said. It's the denominational, non-denominational Christmas special.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Christmas movies. One of my favorites, and I'm sure one of your favorite Christmas movies,
is
Die Hard.
Yes. People don't realize this, but it is a Christmas movie. They don't realize that. You know, it starts off with the Christmas music and everything. It happens during Christmas. They go to a company Christmas party.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie, Die Hard. So
Die Hard's a great
that's one of
Christmas
my favorites.
movie.
You know, first of all, I thought we were going to dress up today. What is this? What are you doing? What's going on?
This is Black Jimmy Stewart.
Black Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
Does that work? Okay, is that right? That works.
From It's a Wonderful Life.
A little
right?
chic, but I could roll with it.
What are you, Frosty?
No, I'm Olaf. I'm Olaf, and I love warm hugs.
Oh my God.
I love warm hugs. Oh. Yeah. See, we have fun.
Frozen. Can't get away from it. We're not talking about that. I don't think that's a Christmas movie.
No.
Let's go back to Die Hard.
Yes.
Keith, do we have some? Let's show some pictures.
There
All
it
right.
is.
So
There's
Die Hard, one of my favorite movies. I love the movie mistakes. You see the guy down in the back, crew member in the back right
hysterical.
there. Keith, what else do we have, man?
Look at that.
That's supposed to be Bruce Willis.
Oh, it's his stuntman.
That is obviously not Bruce Willis.
Well, he probably wanted his time in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Stuntmen don't usually get it. So.
Exactly. And what else we got? Holly Gennaro. You can see her name changes from, you got the A in the first one, and then when it pops up, you got the other one there.
Oh, man. Some people probably got fired for that.
Yeah. We have an invisible ambulance. I don't see the ambulance in the top one.
Oh, that's great. Look at that.
You got it down in the bottom one.
Movie magic. The beauty of movie magic.
Yeah, man. This is a great movie, man. There's
classic.
He has. I couldn't find pictures, but Bruce Willis has fake feet.
Does he? I was wondering. I was wondering how he did the whole thing.
Yeah, so when he's running around and like all the glass and stuff like that, he has like and this was back in the 80s, so this was before those shoes, you know, the shoes where you have each individual,
you
have each individual
That's hysterical.
foot or whatever.
If you notice his guinea tee too, it gets from it's like white, then it gets a little dirty, and then he's clearly just wearing like a black guinea tee at the end. It's supposed to be dirty, but it's like dark green.
I tried to find that one. It changed. It definitely changed throughout, but I don't know, a great Christmas movie, man.
Oh, absolutely.
There's Christmas movie music throughout, you know.
Absolutely.
And the crazy bad guy with the long hair, I forget his name now.
No, the blonde guy,
yeah,
the tall blonde guy.
Yeah,
man.
He actually. That was his. He actually composed that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like a composer.
Yeah.
He does. He looks like with his hair going all crazy. Like, he looks like he could be one of those guys. Very intimidating. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. It's our Christmas special. We're going to be talking about all the Christmas movies that we love, know and love for decades and decades,
the
and
classics,
give you some classics, and give you some little fun facts about
real
it.
Christmas.
Yeah. So we're gonna go in time order. So in 1946, they came out with one of our beloved classics, "It's a Wonderful Life." Let's take a look.
Let's check it out.
Mary, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow and the next day and next year and the year after that. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world.
Oh, let them alone. I wish I was up there with them.
This is me. You remember me? George Bailey. What is it you want, Barry? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. I wish I had $1 million. I'm in trouble, Mr. Potter. I need help.
At exactly 10:45 p.m. Earth time, that man will be thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
I don't want any plastic, I don't want any ground floors, and I don't want to get married ever to anyone. You understand that? I want to do what I want to do.
a pretty intense trailer.
You see what I'm saying? Black Jimmy Stewart. I don't want to get married to anyone.
It's classy. I love the olden times and the whole look and everything. I love it. That is great. The way they talk, and they talk really fast, and they're very passionate, and they grab it by the shoulders, and the girl's like, oh my God. I don't
want to get married to anyone.
By the way, did you know that the kissing scene, they actually had a more passionate kissing scene. They were a little afraid. He was a little afraid to do this scene because this was his first on-screen kiss since he returned from the war. Because this is during the World War II era, and he fought in the war. Which, thank you for your services, Mr. Stewart. So he was worried about doing it. He was nervous, but when he actually did it, he nailed it so hard that they had to cut it from the movie and reshoot it because they said it was so passionate it didn't get past the movie censors.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's
crazy.
Like,
good for you, Mr. Stewart's got some.
Another thing about that is you see the scenes actually in the clip there where it's like snowing. Yeah. They were having problems with the snow machine.
Is that right? It looks so fluffy and everything.
Yeah. Like it would start going and then it would stop and then they had problems. And
it's funny that you bring up that scene too because when he was on the bridge. You can see he's visibly sweating in a couple of those shots because that was on the back lot of Warner Brothers, and it was actually during the summer. It was 90 degrees out. So he has all this fake snow. He's wrapped up and bundled up, and he's sweating his butt off. It's hysterical.
I think we have some shots. Can we take a look at some shots here, Keith, from It's a Wonderful Life? There's when he's at the gravestone there. In one scene, they show the picture, and then I guess it like changes, and then the year goes away.
The year goes away. That's fantastic.
This one here is kind of stupid, but I guess there was some kind of tape mark.
Oh, that's where they do the blocking when they're
actors. So I guess they left it in there, and then they took it out or whatever. And one more we have in the picture on the top. There's no wreath on his arm. And then, they cut and they go, and,
So we forgot to read continuity, guys. It's all about continuity. See, they had these problems even back then.
Yeah.
I love it. And this town was the largest set built in Hollywood at that time. It was the largest set.
Wow.
It was. It took them 2 months to construct. It spanned the length of 3 full city blocks. They had 72 stores and factories. They had the slums. They had the Main Street, and it was one of the biggest sets was the biggest set at the time Hollywood has ever produced, which was pretty cool.
That's
so it really created a world. It was nice,
Classic.
And it was funny that Jimmy Stewart, he was reluctant. He actually didn't take the role at first. It was Lionel Barrymore who they showed in the trailer. Yep. He was the one who talked him into it because he said that it was too soon after the war and he wasn't ready for it and this and that, but he talked him into it, and now he's actually on record of saying of all the movies he's done, Jimmy Stewart claims this one is his absolute favorite.
Wow.
So I'm glad he did it.
Classic movie, man.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to the next one. What do we got?
Yeah, the next one we got is A Christmas Carol.
A Christmas Carol.
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Not unless you give me more time.
Did I ask you for more time to lend you the money?
Oh, no, sir.
Then why should you ask me for more time to pay it back?
Hard and sharp as flint he was. You ask Bob Cratchit about him. This timid and intimidated little clerk is portrayed by Mervyn John. Mrs. Cratchit by Hermione Baddeley. The little lame boy, the great-hearted Tiny Tim, is played by Glyn Dearman. Michael Hordern gives a spirited portrayal of Jacob Marley, the ghost who changes Scrooge from sinner to saint. Co-starring with Alistair Sim in delightful character roles are Jack Warner and Kathleen Harrison.
Don't be violent, Mr. Scrooge, sir. You forced me to scream for the beadle.
The beadle, madam? A fig for the beadle.
A guinea? Here, what for?
Absurd to be so happy.
That's classic. That's a classic.
Classic. I'm going to do Jimmy Stewart. That's my best Jimmy Stewart. You start.
Okay. Yeah, this one is actually my mother's absolute favorite. I remember looking for this. They have it on Blu-ray now, actually. It's on Blu-ray and DVD. They colorized it, too, in case you want that. I like the black and white version. I think it has a little more vintage touch to it. But this is, Alastair Sim is known as the definitive Scrooge. And they've done plenty of versions of this where he, A Christmas Carol or Scrooge, or even Scrooged with Bill Murray and stuff. Like, they've done definitely so many different variations of this film. But this is known as the actual, this is the 1951 Christmas Carol, the original. He was so revered as this role that he was actually asked, him and Michael Horton as well, who played Marley, was asked to come back and reprise their role lending their voices to a 1971 animated version of it.
Wow.
So according to Hollywood, he is Scrooge.
Okay.
You know, so and actually I was in this play too.
Yeah?
I was in the play. It was one of my first plays I ever did. One of my first leading roles. I was Jacob Marley. I was the guy with the chains.
All right.
Yep, it was a very little role, but I got a standing ovation at the end.
Okay. All right. I feel you know what's really great about these movies is they're obviously classics and they're classics because they stand the test of time, and it's so funny that even back then there was ruthless, rich, slave driving, or not slave driving, but these ruthless, rich men back there that were
absolutely
just Uncle Scrooge or whatever.
It's funny that this movie actually changed the meaning of Scrooge, because back in Charles Dickens' time, Scrooge was a slang for it was slang for to squeeze. So it's like, when this movie came out, now we all know Scrooge as you're Scrooge, you're stingy, you're this and that. So it's it had that much of an impact where it literally changed the word.
The name.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's crazy.
I like it. And a little fun fact for you friends out there: if you're ever sitting at a bar and it's Christmas time, and you're wondering, I had to jot it down. There's what humbug means. Bah humbug. You know when he says that, right? Humbug. This and that. Humbug actually describes deceitful efforts to fool people by pretending to fake loftiness or false sincerity. It says, so he uses this term a lot because he truly believes everyone he comes across or anyone he tries to let near is insincere, is one day going to let him down and pretty much betray him. So that's why he uses humbug all the time.
Bah humbug to that.
Little Snapple fact for you guys.
Yeah, you won't see that one on top.
No.
Let's move on. What do we got coming up?
Moving on, we have It's a Christmas Story.
Yo, shoot your eye out, kid.
Yes.
Let's check it out.
In this modern age, too many people have lost sight of the true meaning of Christmas.
Mom!
Hush! Shut up, Ralphie! So now, in the spirit of the original,
Me to you! Stop!
traditional, American Christmas,
Thanks a lot!
MGM presents A Christmas Story.
Dashing through the snow.
Uncle!
In a one-horse open sleigh. For the field we go. Laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring. Making spirits fly. What fun it is to ride and sing.
Ho, ho.
The sleighs on tonight.
Fragile.
That must be Italian.
I think that says fragile.
A Christmas Story.
Come on!
The movie that pulls off Santa's beard. And unwraps the secrets
Did I get a tie this year?
of the original, traditional,
He looks like a deranged Easter bunny.
100% two-fisted, red-blooded,
It's smiling at me.
all-American Christmas. A Christmas Story.
The look is so cute, man.
That is good old that is good old fashioned family racism right there.
Yo,
Can't get away with that nowadays.
This movie is so classic just because everything in this movie encompasses has something that you can relate to, either directly, personally, or you know, you knew that bully, or you beat that bully up, or your best friend beat that bully.
Just the feel of it, like the atmosphere, the feel of Christmas, and how like the decorations inside your house kind of gives this like weird, colorful tint of like holiday glow to it and stuff. Like I just felt watching this movie that I was in my home on Christmas every time. That we could have an entire episode just on this movie alone, and how much people love it. It's fantastic. And fun fact for you, Darren McGavin, who played the father, who's going down in history as one of the best dads ever.
Christmas
dad. I love him. He's absolutely hysterical. He might not have been a part of this movie. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, they sent the script to Jack Nicholson.
Where do you get a load of me?
Could you imagine that?
I could.
Actually,
I mean,
it's fragile. Could you imagine? I can't picture that working.
But he was a different guy back then, though. Like we don't know.
He was crazier.
We don't know the Jack Nicholson that you know can I say the younger generation?
Yeah.
We don't know that Jack Nicholson Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Chinatown and like those movies.
Yeah.
We know him as like the Joker and
you're right.
Different stuff like that. But I think it could have worked out. But
but they don't. Not only did they not want to pay his asking price because they said it would have doubled the budget on the film if they got him. But they said once McGavin came in, they said he was just born to play the role, which he was. He absolutely was. And another fun fact, Peter Billingsley, the kid who plays Ralphie, not only, if you think of it, they counted, he had only 93 lines of dialogue in this movie. He's front and center the entire time, but he only spoke 93 lines of dialogue, which is pretty interesting to me, which must have been great for him because he didn't have much to memorize. But he is actually a very successful producer now. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know
He's
that.
actually, if for anyone out there who loves the what they call the frat pack, the Vince Vaughn's, the John Favreau's, Will Ferrell's, he's like a best friend of one of theirs. So he's like
cool.
all the movies like Couples Retreat and like Elf and stuff like that.
I did know that.
Not only does he produce these movies,
he's friends with Vince Vaughn. They did like the after school specials or something like that back in the day. I did know that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So he's a producer on a lot of his movies and like The Breakup and stuff like that. And he also has a small part in all of them.
Yeah.
And if you notice, he still has the big bright blue eyes. That's how you can tell who he is if you rewatch these movies. But he's always plays one of the friends, small bit part. But he's a good he produced Iron Man as well.
In this movie, only 93 lines. He said Red Ranger, the Red
Rider BB gun.
Red Rider. Yeah, he said it 28 times in the movie.
28 times.
So
that's great.
Do we have Keith? Do we have pictures of this one? No pictures of this one. I thought we had pictures of this one. But great movie. They bought that house, by the way. The original house in
I heard about that.
in Ohio. They have the house, and if you can drive by the house, and it has that leg lamp in the window.
That's fantastic. Oh yeah, they said the person who bought it restored it to its original movie settings. Like he made sure every single room was just like the movies, and he has tours going throughout the house as well, which is really interesting. And there's so many people that love this movie.
And also another fun fact. There are a couple fun facts about this movie. The director,
Bob Clark,
directed Porky's.
Right.
And Porky's was kind of a fun 80s movie. We'll say
raunchy movie. It was the American Pie of their day.
Yeah. So he directed Porky's, and that's kind of how he got the funding to film to film
they said
this
if it wasn't
movie.
oddly enough, parents out there, if it wasn't for Porky's, we wouldn't have a Christmas Story, which is crazy.
And also A Christmas Story is rumored to have inspired The Wonder Years.
Because this one came out in '83, I believe. 83, and The Wonder Years came out in 1988. And so I was just talking about it before with Keith. I think that the guy doing the narration is the same guy in The Wonder Years. It has to be. It sounds exactly like him.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
I remember watching this movie. I'm like, I wonder if this is a guy from The Wonder Years, not knowing that this came out years before The Wonder Years was even made. But it's really interesting.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. A lot of the another fact about this is a lot of the locals. Donated or didn't give it to him, but lent the cars to the movie to create the feel.
They never really pinpoint what year this movie takes place in, but they said it's probably somewhere around the 40s.
It's probably somewhere around the 40s, and you hear like Christmas music that was. That came out in the 40s too, maybe the 50s, and so there's some continuity stuff there. I thought we had some stuff, but we didn't.
That's right. We actually have to move on right now to one of the revered as one of the best Christmas movies.
I think
ever.
I did a little poll on Facebook. This was one of the ones everybody said.
And if it's not the best, like because Christmas Story could be known as the best, but this one's by far the funniest. Laugh per minute, the funniest Christmas movie to come out. It is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
After vacationing across America and throughout Europe,
Take it, Russ.
this holiday season, the Griswolds are going to play it safe.
Clark, we're stuck under a truck.
Oops. They're staying at home.
I give you the Griswold family Christmas tree.
Hope you're not getting sap all over your sweater, Clark.
All Clark wants is a quiet, old-fashioned Christmas.
Sorry. Got a little knot here. Been working
what he's going to get is the gift that keeps on living.
Merry Christmas.
His family.
We didn't come to impose.
Oh, hell, there's plenty of room.
Do you sleep with your brother? Do you know how sick and twisted that is, Mom? Well, I'm sleeping with your father.
Have you got a kiss for me?
You better take a rain check on that, Art. He's got a lip fungus they ain't identified yet.
But no holiday could ever be more deeply touching.
We were gonna call, but Eddie wanted to make it a surprise.
If I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now.
We're really gonna fly down the hill with this stuff.
So genuinely moving.
Can I refill your eggnog for you? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere, leave you for dead?
More truly uplifting.
Can I show you something?
I was just browsing.
Or more down to earth.
Merry Christmas!
If Santa is smart, he'll stay well clear of this joint. It's a death trap.
Than Christmas with the Griswolds.
Everybody come out quick, look at the lights!
They want you to say grace.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
This year, let Chevy Chase light up your holidays. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That thing had 9 lives. She just spent them all.
You crack up.
No, it wasn't.
Oh man, that's a great movie. That's great. Yo, you put Chevy Chase and Randy Quaid in the movie, that's got to be gold.
They're fantastic. They're fantastic. Which they are actually 2 of the 4 Saturday Night Live alum that are in this movie.
Oh really?
Yeah, you have Randy
Beverly
Quaid. You have you have Randy Quaid. You have Chevy Chase. You have Julia Louise Dreyfus, the one that was in Seinfeld, which I didn't even realize.
Neighbor. She was the
and
neighbor.
Bill Murray's brother. I forgot his name, but something Murray.
Yeah.
But the boss, I took out the bonuses this year. The one that he does his famous rant about that 4 flushing 2 timing. One of my favorite scenes in any movie ever, which was fantastic. But
I saw a poll. The fans' favorite scene was the cat getting electrocuted.
That is a great scene, and I would love it too because I don't mind. I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't like cats. I don't. So that was really fun for me. I also love when he's in the box and he's just like, they wrapped the cat in the box going nuts. Like, yeah, they wrapped the cat. Aunt Bethany, by the way, don't throw me down, clock. I won't, Aunt Bethany. Is your house on fire, clock? We can spend a whole episode just quoting it. But anyway, Aunt Bethany, whose name is actually Mae Questel. This was her final film.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
what made that pretty significant is that she was actually the voice of Betty Boop.
Oh,
did you know that? Yeah.
No, I did not.
She was the voice of the original voice of the cartoon, the famous cartoon Betty Boop. So it must have been nice to have her on set. We didn't realize it growing up, but she was a legend in her time.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting. You can't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant. I love that.
Yo, there's no more jokes like that anymore.
I know,
you know what I'm saying?
can't.
Like it's just
It's great.
Some of these have just such classic lines, one-liners and stuff. Like Chevy Chase, obviously, he can just deliver a line and it's funny. It's not. It may not even be a joke. Just his mannerisms or
The
how
way he does it.
You know, it's like, hey, a little ball, or you know, when he gave it to Rusty, you know, he's like, like that was just funny.
Yeah.
You know,
which, by the way, Rusty is now on Big Bang Theory. He's the star of that show. Yeah, that's little Rusty. He still has a job, which is nice. He's still working. Cool. He's still doing his thing. And a nice little tip of the hat to Chevy Chase. One of Chevy Chase's signature jokes was always checking his fake watch. Like, look at the time, and I got to go.
Movie?
Yeah, Rusty does it. His own son, yeah. So it's kind of like a little tip of the hat to him, where he asked him for to help with the Christmas decorations, whatever. He's like, "Oh, Dad, you gotta check the time. I
thought that was a Fletch thing because he does it in Fletch too.
Yeah, well, it's like a run-on joke that he did throughout his whole career.
Okay. I don't remember. I gotta go back and watch.
Yeah,
it
it was like a nice little tip
I think
of the hat.
we have some. I definitely think we have some pics of this. Yeah, Keith, let's see what we got for this one. I know we got some on this one. All right, so this one. Obviously, seen if you see it there on the top, you have the Christmas tree in the bottom.
There's no tree.
There's no tree.
Where did the tree go?
That's a Christmas tree. How do you
the squirrel took it? The squirrel.
How do you just get rid of a Christmas tree? All right, what else we got here?
It's hysterical.
All right, so this is Julia Louise Dreyfus, and obviously she's there in the
the
picture.
Carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot.
And then all of a sudden she's just gone, and it's a little darker.
It's much darker. Look at that.
What else we got?
He falls down the stairs. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I guess that's all we have.
If you notice, because it's funny that you actually asked me, is this the first Vacations movie, and it's not the first Vacations movie. The first one was at Wally World, and if you notice, when he goes after his whole rant and he walks in, he's like, I need a drink. He grabs a Wally World mugs and dunks it into the eggnog. You can see the little the moose. You can see the antlers sticking out. So they're keepsakes that they have from the first movie, the first Vacation, which is a nice little tidbit.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. What, you got anything else?
Not really. Well, actually, yes. This was shot on the backlot of Warner Brothers as well, and the neighbor's house is actually Murtaugh's house in Lethal Weapon. Yeah. So it's like that's a house that this neighborhood is behind the studio, so they use it constantly, and this house has been featured in many movies and like Lethal Weapon and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool. Before we go, I got some more kind of semi non-denominational stuff. I think we have some Gremlins stuff. All right, so Gremlins, a Christmas movie.
Not a family-friendly one, but a good one.
If you look in there, you can see the boom. It's circled. The boom microphone in the reflection.
They never account for storefronts. I don't understand why they do that.
There's a hand, puppet hand in the puppet there.
That could definitely break the fourth wall.
We have a picture frame that's in one scene but not in the other scene. You know, the cat's there, the candle's there, but no picture frame.
Oh, that's great.
And this one, so it's Christmas and there's snow, but if you look in the background in the top, there's green leaves. There's leaves.
Man. That's stagehand. I hope he got fired for that.
Yeah, right? But I don't know. Great stuff, man.
Yeah.
These are some of the classic movies and some of the not so classic Christmas-ish movies. But,
classic to us.
We got to get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Check us out. Verizon 45, Cablevision 76 all throughout the holiday season. Thursday at 7, Friday at 10 p.m. WPCommunitymedia.org.
We have our Instagram page, the @GoNoGo Movie Reviews, all one word. We have our Twitter page, @GoNoGo Show. And we have our YouTube channel that we can see our beautiful faces, GoNoGo Show on YouTube.
Check us out, and we'll see you next year.
All right.